So you just probably received a pop-up saying that now our live stream on YouTube is to allow the other members of your member nation, if they want to follow the General Assembly, they can go on ITA YouTube channel and then they get the meeting live stream there.
Okay.
But normally you all received the email weeks ago saying that.
How's that quorum?
Quorum is good.
Quorum is good. So Hughes, Mission Control, we have a quorum, yes. Okay.
I think you can wait.
Yeah. I think if it's given how much we have to go through. Who's missing? There's still one.
Tabii ki.
I'd love to start the meeting, but we're just still waiting. And please feel free, just informally, to talk or speak or something. Otherwise, this is a very, very dull moment, and we're all sitting looking at each other. So. So what we've been doing here, this is just informal talk. What we've been doing is we've held an EXCO meeting here in Toronto, and it's been very, very productive, as well as supporting Canada with their conference here. And last night we went to their awards ceremony, which is very similar but not the same as the ITA awards, and it went really, really well. And it was really great to see how the Canadians have got themselves organised and in a very professional state, and their numbers of membership have gone up enormously. Even their conference here, they've got something like 750 registered participants, which is just amazing. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my small talk while we're waiting, so just letting you know what's happening here in Canada. And it was really, really interesting to see. And also there was a ceremony last night as ITA signed the contracts for the WTC here in Canada, and a really, really warm welcome. And it's promising to be I think a fantastic event. And also before, again, just while we're waiting, before this meeting here in Canada, as part of the Engage Africa program, just been in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and there's a real buzz in Africa at the moment that ITA is extending with this Engage Africa program. So that's been really, really well received as well. It's going to just check and see how many countries we've got. How are we going? Still.
36. And technical difficulties.
So
We're just in the room.
Yeah. So for everyone's amusement, the one nation that is having trouble logging in at the moment is the nation that's sitting in the room next to us here in Canada. They can't log in. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah. And are you able to confirm that, can you hear my voice? Can people hear my voice okay?
Yeah,
Yes,
at
perfect.
least I can.
Yes,
Perfect.
it's okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Terrific.
Yes.
And I'm just going to ask some other people in the room to speak as well, just to check if others speak in the room that you can hear them as well. Perhaps someone, like maybe Jamal, could you just say something? Make sure we can
hear me in this corner?
It's a bit quiet.
Yes,
Hi.
we can.
Yes.
Yes, perfectly.
Good evening, Leslie.
Good evening. Hi, you can hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yes.
That's good, yes. It's 8 p.m. here. What time? What's your time?
Yeah. 12 hours.
It's 8 o'clock here also. So,
Diametrically opposite. Very good.
yeah. So, Monica has actually just given me a very good point to raise. You might notice that Roland is not with us at the moment, and the reason that he's not with us is he's unwell. So he's here with us in Toronto, but he's unwell. He hasn't got COVID, but he is sick, and so he hasn't been able to participate yesterday and today. No, except that we did see him yesterday, so he's here in the hotel, but he's unwell. Of course, we've got special people watching out to make sure he's not out on the lake on a boat and having a good time. And we're assured that he really is sick. He has not been seen doing any tourist things. So, yeah, but no, he is unwell, and he is sending his apologies as well. Yeah. And there's a note just coming in, and it is correct. If it's possible to mute your microphones when you're not speaking, that's great. Obviously we can all then hear, and there's so many people on the call. How are we going?
40.
40?
Yeah.
So we're good? Or not?
We can start, and the all will join.
Awesome. So good morning. I think there's going to be a slide. Here we go.
Just a second. Then I really need to be able to do that. I really need to mute everybody.
Okay. Right. We're good to go.
Then normally now.
We're good. Okay, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it might be for you. A big hello and thank you for joining your EXCO here in this special General Assembly. EXCO is assembled here in Toronto, and we've completed our.
It's normal.
It's normal. Okay, sorry, we just lost vision here. And I'm going to assume you can still hear me, even though we lost the screen here. Okay, the screen's come back. So we're extending an enormous hello and thank you for joining us here at this extraordinary General Assembly. This General Assembly is to deal with and vote upon a number of changes that your elected Executive Council would like you to accept, and we believe that you will accept. The reason that we need them are several-fold, and we've had numerous discussions about it, but put bluntly, ITA moving forward wants to extend its global reach. To extend our global reach, we have embraced a new policy of open access to information freely. To extend our access, we are engaging in the most optimistic and I think outward most looking program that ITA has engaged in before. For example, our Engage Africa program, and that's just the beginning of it on our mission. We've explained through several meetings why we want to make the changes that we do, and the feedback we've got is has been actually fantastic. You will have seen the way we've adjusted what we're proposing and considered the various submissions that you've made to us. Can I just say it is essential that you vote. It's essential that you vote. If you abstain in voting, abstaining in voting is in effect, because of our bylaws, a no vote. Okay, so obviously we're expecting yes votes, and abstaining is a no vote. I'm going to say that again. Abstaining under our bylaws is a no, and because of the way our bylaws are written, we need yes votes, not abstain votes. And of course, if you have a no vote, of course, you can do a no vote. But my point again, do not abstain and think it means nothing. Abstaining is a no. So please vote yes. But what the process is going to be is we're going to go through the various things that we want to be changed. Some of them are more administrative in nature, and some of them are changes to the way we actually conduct ourselves. I'm going to hand over to Olivier, and we're just going to go through it now. This could take a while. We want to go through as quickly as we can because we understand your time is limited, and your elected EXCO, who you've been talking to, who has considered this and these matters very carefully, we are looking for your support, and we've worked very hard for that support, and we know that the feeling is overwhelmingly positive. Remember, don't abstain, please vote yes, and I'll hand over to Olivia.
Thanks, Arnold. So you've all received the agenda for today's meeting. So we just heard Arnold's opening speech. We need to prove the agenda. We'll check the quorum, so we know that we have a quorum. We will make explanation of the voting process for those who have not participated in the test. I will propose before we start really a test motion. And then we will have, in fact, we have three sets of motions because we have divided them in three because it's different things, but also because the majority is different for each. The majority needed of positive votes is different for modification of the status, modification of bylaws, and the modification of the membership fees, which is of a normal General Assembly and not, as it is said in the statutes, an extraordinary General Assembly, even though we have convened, in fact, it's what we call a mixed General Assembly with motions from extraordinary and motions from ordinary. And afterwards, of course, as we are all together, if you have specific questions to address to the Executive Council, and if we have not spent 5 hours doing that, we can go further. Any questions or remarks on the agenda? If not, go. So I just want to remind you the quorum that we have. So in fact, in the ITA, for the moment, taking into account the member nations that have not paid their 2022-2023 membership fee, we have 59 member nations that have a voting right. As you know, only the member nations that pay their membership fee have the right of vote inside ITA, even though the other ones still remain inside ITA, but with no voting rights. So we have at the moment 59 member nations that have paid their membership fee. The quorum for the Extraordinary General Assembly is half of the member nations. So that means that we needed 30 member nations present to have a valid Extraordinary General Assembly. And if I check my other screen, for the moment we have 41 member nations present or represented. That is for modification in statutes and bylaws. And of course, when you have a quorum for this, you have a quorum for an ordinary General Assembly, which is only 1/3, and then is in this case 20. So in terms of quorum, we can start this Extraordinary General Assembly. It is valid. We have a quorum. So you've all been connected. You are all connected to Easy Quorum. We are using the same tool as we have used in the past digital Extraordinary General Assembly in 2020, 2021. We had made yesterday with those member nations who wanted some detail. For those who were not there, I will just, so EXCO members will not see that, but I will just launch a voting page with a test motion. So you should, and then I will stop sharing so I can see if you have any issues. So I have sent the voting, so you can vote. You should have, everybody should have a pop-up.
Still vote to come, not yet.
You don't, Davide, you don't have
I can read the vote to come.
Yeah, same here. It only says vote to come. There's no pop-up to vote.
So in this moment, I cannot vote.
A ja zagłosowałam. Poland voted already. I have everything in order.
Yeah, 60.
That's the same for the Netherlands. So we had we could follow.
I cannot vote.
And
Now
Can you refresh your
Now,
page?
yes.
Yes.
I can vote. Okay. For New
Ah,
Zealand.
Okay. Yes, I
I
can
can
vote now for resolution 1. Okay,
Yeah.
I voted.
So for the moment, I have not voted Norway and Catherine. Suresh. And Pierluigi Nonelli from Ecuador. Is it because you have difficulties or otherwise?
Olivier, once again, my question. I have a vote for Austria. I did already,
Yes.
and I have a vote for Hungary, but I don't know how to come to
Yeah,
that.
you voted both.
I voted already both, but
Yes.
okay, I did it only once.
Yeah. But if you want
Okay.
to vote differently, you
No.
need at the beginning. But
No,
otherwise,
just to be.
if you vote the same, it goes two at the same time.
Okay, no, then it's clear. Okay, thanks.
So I do suppose the ones we have just left or taken a coffee or something. So 36. India voted now. So I will close this vote to just the 10th.
Yeah. And is the result shown immediately?
Yes, it's they have the issue is for me to show it. It's big difficult because
It's okay. Let's just go
no,
to the,
even because I have it here and I can present only from this one.
Excuse me, Olivier.
Yeah.
I was able to vote. Everything was closed for me while this was in progress.
Yes, because you didn't get the, and Catherine, you didn't got the pop-up or you were outside the room or something like that? Because I said several, but you had not voted.
No,
Now,
I tried to vote, but everything was seems to be closed for me when I tried to vote.
okay.
For
Just
some
a
reason.
second. No, just a second. Can you reopen the vote? Do you see it now, Anne-Catherine?
I can just see the numbers of those who have voted resolution 1, the result. I can't see anything else. Have you tried to reopen the?
It takes some time to arrive. It's not immediately. To me, it took 1 minute before the pop-up was coming up.
Okay.
so once we've been able to make sure this is working, we should be able to proceed quite efficiently. We're just making sure that the technology is okay.
Because yesterday, Anne-Catherine, it worked.
Yeah, it worked yesterday.
You were there and it worked.
Now it says
Okay.
voting.
So anyhow, that was only a test. We'll see when we come to the real one. But maybe you need to refresh some things and so on. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to proceed now to the real part of the meeting where we actually vote. And remember, abstaining is the same as a negative vote. And we're looking for positive votes. So if you abstain and it's a negative vote, or if you abstain, it's considered a negative vote.
So we come to the first part, which is modification of the statutes. Daniel, can you- we have 41 voters in the. So for the moment, we have so don't take so we have 41 voting delegates or represented voters, 41. So the 80% to get approved is 33 votes in favor. I will not repeat what Arnold said, but abstention is like a no vote.
Yep. Yes.
So the first motion concerning the statutes is, you know, that, and we presented it in Athens, that the Executive Council has worked to improve the wording of ITA vision and mission. This text has been presented to you in Athens. It has been approved, but it is important that in all documents of the association, and notably in the statutes, the goals and mission that is written in the statutes is the same as the one we have on the website and the one we are presenting to everybody. So this motion is to change the section 2 of the statutes, which is about objectives of the association. So we have taken here the exact text that we have in the website for the last 6 months or 9 months, and just to have this same identical text in the statutes.
Yep.
So the only thing that remains in this paragraph, if that was already there, is that the association is a non-profit organization. We didn't change that.
I'm not proposing to say anything more about this. It's already been agreed. This is a formality that we must do. So we'll be asking just for yes votes for this one. We've already agreed.
Yeah, but I will present the 3 motions concerning the statutes, and then we will make the 3 votes concerning.
Yeah. So I'm not going to talk about this one. We've already agreed it. From my perspective, it's done. So this is a yes. Okay.
The second one is also very technical things. Nowadays, and we've done it during 2020, 2021, but under the specific law of COVID, to be able to have a digital General Assembly. Here, if you were in Athens, I asked for a vote to be able to organize this specific meeting in Toronto, because this was not in our statutes. So in order that if something happened and if something we need to convene a specific meeting, we can do it digitally without having that planned earlier during the WTC.
Yeah.
It is to be put in the statutes that we can, the president, executive council can convene a digital meeting if necessary.
So this is another yes, because this just allows us to call a meeting and to hold it virtually. It's another one of these yeses. Please do not abstain. This just allows us to do the meetings. All of the voting requirements stay the same. The quorum stays the same. Everything else stays the same. It just allows us to do it like this. So, yes.
And the third one is related to the governance council. You know that when we established the new form of a governance council, it has been said that it is formed of 3 members, 2 coming from representatives from the member nations, and a third one coming from outside. During the last 4 years, it has worked with only the 2 members of representative of the member nations, because it has been difficult to find a third one outside the association willing to work on a voluntary basis. So just to be that the way we are working today is in accordance with what is written in the statutes. We've just changed that it's at least 2 persons representing the member nations, and if these two members find it necessary and find the people from outside willing to work on a voluntary basis, they will be able to ask this person to join the governance council. But working with only 2 members is now, if we vote yes, and I think it has been working quite well this way, it is it's compliant with the statutes, which it was not the case today.
Yeah, so this is a yes. It's just a formality, and the Governance Council is working extremely well. And at our next meeting, we'll be able to tell you more about that, but very happy with the performance of the Governance Council. And this just brings into line our framework for working with them and the way they work. So another yes, no abstentions.
So, everybody, of course, before the vote, even if it's clear and just something that has been done, if there's any questions.
No, I don't think there's any, doesn't look like any questions.
So then I will go to the vote for the first motion, the one on goals and objectives of ITA. No, but that's if you have something to say, please use the end of the Zoom, because otherwise we will not be able to see, because we don't see everybody on the screen.
Yeah,
we need 2 screens to do it.
Yeah, just to say that again, please use the hand if you want to say something in the reactions button on your screen.
Okay, so I launch the vote.
Okay.
And Catherine, if you don't see anything, please let me know.
Yes, I will.
Sorry, Olivier, may I say something? It only says vote to come. I don't have any options.
It should come.
I tried to vote, but I'm not sure if it works.
No, it's not works. I also
Not
tried
yet.
to vote.
Yes.
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. Okay.
Did it work for me?
I don't know. I'm sorry, it's anonymous. I will only know at the end when it remains only 2 or 3.
Just voted. It works now.
For the moment.
The second one, isn't it?
Second one got.
Okay. But I think there's a delay.
This is fine now. This is fine.
Okay, I vote. Okay, it's okay now.
In the lines because the second.
Olivier, have you registered my vote?
No. So for the moment, missing. So Anne-Catherine, your vote.
Yes, I have tried to vote. Have you registered anything?
No, he said you have not voted. So Ecuador. So Pierluigi, and
I'm pressing the button, but I can't see that anything is happening.
You're on Chrome or your browser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The same as yesterday. And yesterday.
The same as yesterday, yes, everything worked.
Why? Excuse me. Catherine, why don't you prove to leave the session and enter again?
I'll try. I'll try.
Abandon completely
So
the session and re-enter.
anyhow, your vote will not change anything, and Catherine for so during that.
I tried to leave as well, but it doesn't work either. I'm pressing that button, but nothing happens.
So although we can't see what anyone votes, we can see the tally.
So I will close the vote, so you will all see the results.
Olivier, is it possible to send you an email?
Yes.
With my vote?
Then we have it. We didn't contemplate doing it that way, and we would have to then verify it. However, I think it would complicate things. It's by email.
Yeah, can you? But I cannot add you now as a voter because it has started. So you understand that the system does not allow you to be a voter. But can you send your vote to Sindre?
Yes, I will do that.
And
okay.
I'll just let you know.
So you've all seen that we have 41 votes in favor. So the motion is adopted.
Okay. Thank you for your patience, everybody. It should get faster now. Okay, next one.
So next one. Yes, Misha.
Hi.
I know you have difficulties to vote as well. I think so. Misha, you hear me?
Yes, one moment.
I'm not moving.
Hi. I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, I'm studying new.
So do you see the voting page on your computer?
Yes, I see.
Misha. So
yes.
So can you, because you didn't vote the last time, can you try to vote this time?
Yes, okay, I will try. Resolution number 3. Yes. Yes. It's working.
It's working. So we're voting. It's saying resolution number 3, but it's actually number 2. Is that correct, Olivier?
Yes, it's motion S2.
It's motion S2, but it says 3 on your screen because motion number 1 was the test
one.
Yep.
So we have missing Anne-Catherine and Michel. Tu n'as pas voté. So now you have voted. So the only issue is...
It's okay now.
Yeah. Oui, j'ai vu. Merci. The only issue is with Anne-Catherine. You do that or that.
Yeah. So we can't see what's happening under the table. Yeah.
So I will correct on the minutes, adding the votes coming from Norway. So everybody voted.
Yeah.
And so we have, you see, 42 in favor, plus the vote of Norway.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. That's a yes vote from everyone, and it's working. Thank you.
And then we go to the last motions concerning the statutes, the A3 concerning the governance council.
Misha has his hand up again, or is that the same?
Has been up. He lowered his hand.
So now you should get the pop-up for voting for the motion A3, the one concerning the governance council.
Jo, skal vi se. Nå stemmer jeg på 3. Yes.
It's
Working.
That's good. Right next.
Yeah. There's just a quiet discussion occurring here. Although this might seem slow, this is faster than in the physical meeting where we have to go around and get the ballots and count them and everything. So it somehow feels slower, but it's actually quicker.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's actually one of the discussions we've been having on EXCO is how to make the voting process, even at a physical meeting, quicker.
It worked for the third voting.
Yes.
And then I have issued an email regarding S1 and S2.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you.
For the moment, missing the vote from Sweden and from Lebanon. So, okay, everybody has voted.
And the result?
So you all see, we have on the 43 voters, we have 42 in favor and 1 against.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's passed. So thank you, everybody. We go to the next.
So then we go to the next part. So modification of bylaws. So we have at the moment 43 persons present or represented in the General Assembly. So the majority is Damien. 26. So we need 26. We will need 26 votes in favor to get the motions passed for the modifications of the bylaws.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Yeah.
So, as you read, most of the modifications of bylaws are related to the membership, to the definition of affiliate members, to the category of affiliate members. So the first one is to clearly say which category of affiliate members we have. In the present bylaws, there are 3 categories that were corporate affiliate member, individual affiliate members, and honorary member. The young member that exists for 10 years were not listed such as the category of affiliate members, And we are proposing, and you will have it later. Of course, if later you say we don't want this category, we will have to modify this part, because then we will not have any owner affiliate member, which is a new category that has been presented in Athens. Really, for the owners, it has been quite successful in Athens with a meeting with around 25, Thomas. Yes, 25 owners, and it's part of the mission of ITA. We know that we were missing this part of industry inside ITA, so we want to really address them, having them as specific category of affiliate member.
Yeah, so we've discussed this before, and from EXCO's point of view, this is very straightforward and needed, and we're looking for your yes vote, of course, again.
And then we rewrote the criteria application and explanation of who can be affiliate member. And as before, the affiliate membership application is subject to the ratification of the General Assembly, which delegates this right to the Executive Council, which has been, in fact, the practice, but it was not written in the bylaws. And of course, membership, and now membership for all categories is subject to payment of annual fees. Only honorary members are exempted of the annual fee.
Yep. So again, your EXCO see this as straightforward, and we've discussed it previously, and the class of owners is and is increasingly a great success, and this is to formalise these classes of membership. So this is from EXCO's point of view, very clear yes. Next.
So the next one is about the individual affiliate member. It is what we said, we want to really open it. You know that at the moment, individual members are very restricted, because it's restricted to young members, to academics, to retired people, or for professional inactivity. They need to be working in a company which is itself corporate affiliate member. We have, of course, from all over the world, people that are interested in being more included in the activities of the International Tunneling and Underground Space Association. Either they don't have any local member nation organization, or they have member nations organizations that are organized such that they cannot be member of a local one. And the objective is to grow both for ITA and for the local member nations.
Sorry. It's just a second. That's a technical issue. You still hear me?
Can somebody indicate whether you can see or hear us?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
We hear you, yes. We can hear you, yes.
But you cannot see us any longer, I think.
I would like.
Can see you.
I'd like to speak to this.
We see the slides for the time being.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just
we see you, Olivier.
Yeah,
yes.
Not me, but you will see.
Under name of De Fayette.
I see Renato.
What a strange name.
Okay, while we're organising our technology here, if you can see and hear us, this is a matter that I do want to talk and explain.
Again, very clearly, this class of affiliate individual membership is not new. What is new is that we want to extend its reach. As Olivier said, what you can't see, many of you can't see from your member nation organisations, but what we see on EXCO is that there is an enormous range of member nation representative organisations, ranging from those in which individual membership is, of course, something that happens at the individual membership nation level, but it may surprise you that there are other organisations where it is difficult or impossible. So we, as your ExCo, have drafted this proposal to reinforce membership within your member nation organisation, and that's why there's this enormous discount if someone is a member of your member nation organisation. And this particular structure is something that has been discussed and modified by ExCo and with you in consultation. My friends, we see this as important, not for purely for membership. We see this important because our outreach program, for us to be able to extend our training and interaction and engagement around the world, requires other vehicles for people to engage with us. So we are looking for a yes vote on this, and we also are inviting any discussion now, not too much discussion, but because we've had a lot of discussion about this, but some discussion for clarification. We are looking for a yes vote for this because this is what your ExCo believe we need to do for our international outreach and engagement around the world.
May I say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think that is very good idea to give the 50% of discount for the people who are also the member of local organization. I think that for someone, maybe it's a great honor to be individual member, not only the member of many people, for example, in Poland. So I think it's a good idea.
And we did.
May I also give a short comment?
Yes.
When it comes to bullet point number 2, I think, regarding the fee, I think that this should be a part of enclosure 4 regarding fees and not included in the bylaws.
That may be correct, and we have to acknowledge that there are some things we could do better with the way it's been drafted, but we could fix that if it needs to be fixed at a later stage. But we received, and for all other member nations, we received some excellent comments from Norway about the drafting and structure. But what we're looking for here is, albeit not perfect, and albeit that in the future we might adjust it, we're still looking for a yes vote with what we've got, because we understand how complex and difficult it is to get a motion this far within our organisation. There is a mechanism we could use to change it, but it would slow down the process. Olivia?
And Catherine, in fact,
make a comment. Sorry.
In fact, it's two different things. One is to put in the bylaws that the individual members coming from member nation organization get a 50% discount. Then the amount of the fee is, as you said, coming from the motion about the fees. But the fact that if you are a member of a member nation organization, you get 50%. It will be, otherwise it will be fixed, and when we change the fee, the normal fee, then automatically it's 50%.
So you always get 50%.
You always get 50%. So that means that it will remain 50%. If it goes only on the fee, we can say, okay, this year is 50%, and next year it's not 50%. Here now you are ensured that this 50% for individual members coming from member nation organization will remain.
So it's locking it in.
Yeah.
It's locking it in. So we as ExCo believe that 50% discount to the advantage of the members of member nation organisation is an essential part of what makes this work and makes it work for our member nations as well.
May I make a comment, please? Sorry.
Yep.
There was one thing that wasn't really clear. You mentioned a couple of benefits for these kind of memberships, including free public access to ITA documents or taking part in working group activities. And we have several people who are working with us in the working groups that are retired, that are members of other organizations, and they might not be interested in working as part of the ITA, but their input is valuable. How do we include those kind of participants?
So we're not saying that people are excluded if they're not members. What we're saying is that they can participate if they are members, and this is part of the control of your working groups. We're absolutely focused on the voting and control of the working groups being with the representatives as nominated by the member nations. This is one of the major planks of this change, that the control of the working groups and the nomination to be a voting member on the working groups is with the member nations. We're not saying that others can't, and we're not saying that because you're not a member, you can't. That's a matter for the working group. What we're saying is if you are a member, you can.
So regardless if someone is individual member or not, they still have access and ability to work in the working groups. I believe that question you asked separately and we answered, and it's a very good question. It's very important right now that we further clarify.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know in your working groups, it's not because some of them will not become individual members, but they will need to leave the working groups, no problem. They can continue and you can continue to have external things, but it's also a way of promoting the works of the working groups, because it goes to more people who know that's what the IT working groups are doing. Jaya, you raised your hand.
Yeah, Olivier, one clarification I wanted to do is this 50% discount is only applicable for the individual affiliated member, or is that does that also applicable for category of young member? Because it's not very clear to me. I thought it should also applicable to young members as well. Thanks.
And that was clarified in the, I believe, in the matrix that was sent to everyone for information. All members, young or not young, that are members of individual member nation organizations have 50% discount. So young members, non-young members, everybody.
And as young members have a rate which is 50% of the normal members, so young member from a member nation organizations pay in fact 25% of the normal fee.
So to clarify this further, okay? So everybody from member nation organization get 50% fee. Young members, in additional, have additional 50% discount. So they pay 50% of 50%.
Okay, thank you, Sonia and Olivia. Sure. Thanks for the clarification.
Michelle?
Yeah, just a comment. I think that it is very important that ITA support and help to develop very strong national member nation. So this is very symbolic. This discount is important just to show that ITA is with the member nation and they develop together.
Absolutely, Michelle. And that's why also we're making sure the control and voting and everything rests with the member nation. So it's not just in the money, it's also in giving the member nations that authority and maintaining that authority within ITA.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or clarifications? You can probably tell by my voice and the voices in this room, we are quite passionate about this, as we see it as very important for our international outreach and engagement with people and to support our member nations. And the education, Michelle, as you can see, is the highest thing we're trying to achieve here. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Let's go to the next one.
Next one, yeah.
So next one is in fact the creation of a category of owner affiliate member. So any organization acting as owner client in the field of tunneling and aerospace can submit an application to become an owner affiliate member. Membership is subject to the agreement of a member nation from which the entity originates, which is the case for all the corporate member. So just what we said, what we did in Athens, and we want to continue by creating this specific category to attract more owners.
And I just comment on this. We see this as an extremely important initiative, and a number of people have asked for clarification about how these owners engage with us. And just to confirm, this is strategic, it's important, but the reason we're dealing with them slightly differently is because as owner organisations, their internal procurement and probity requirements require ITA to be very sensitive about this particular membership category. And that's why you see us developing it like this. So for us, again, this is a yes, no abstentions, and it's going very well. Thank you, Thomas. Not that I'm mentioning any names.
Any comments on this motion, or is it clear for everybody?
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
So go to the votes.
It's 2 hours.
Oh, sorry. Oh, 2 more. Sorry.
2 more.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. So this one is related to the supporters category. There's one line that can be removed and so on because it's different English understanding of active supporters. For us, it was meaning that that people that were paying their fee, active might be seen as working hardly with ITA. We can change the word in order to be more precise on this. It was just to say that once you're not supporter any longer, you're not allowed any longer to use the logo of ITA. And the other one is a specific add-on on supporter category for companies that are not global, that are not worldwide, that are working in few countries by region, and that would like to have more visibility in this region. So if they are interested really in 2-3 countries, they can have an add-on in terms of visibility, which is described in the benefits table in terms of visibility on the website and other activities that will be in these countries only and not globally worldwide.
And speaking from our analysis at EXCO, we believe that this initiative will actually mean companies find their way to new member nations using this mechanism as a way of approaching countries that they don't have experience in and things like that. So we're seeing this as an opportunity for our member nations to engage with new companies as they explore new opportunities around the world. So we're seeing also this as a positive step for our organisation and a positive step for the member nations as well. So another yes.
Any questions? Check. Nobody thinks the hand on. Okay, and the last motions containing the bylaws is a very simple one, because the same sentence concerning prime sponsors and the same explanation. And the other one is something that we put in the bylaws that was a rule from the beginning in terms of how the prime sponsor representative is elected. It was not fully written in terms of 3 years, and that can be renewed only once. Now, it has been always the case since the beginning, but now it is written in the bylaws, and it is in order that afterwards for all committees, working groups, everybody, we have the same rules in terms of elections and re-elections and number of terms.
Yeah. So this is part of the governance initiatives that we, as your EXCO, are rolling out, and that is it's one set of rules for everybody, and that includes, of course, the representative for EXCO of the prime sponsors. So that's exactly what this is. This is part of our getting the governance and consistency in all parts of our organisation for representation.
Okay. So, before we go to the votes of the bylaws, any clarification needed here for everybody?
Remember, no abstaining. We're looking for yeses.
This is recorded, you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we start with the first motion, which is the one related to which is the one with 5 categories and the criteria of application of being a member.
Now it worked perfect from Norway.
Thank you, Anne-Catherine. So Tindra has nothing to do with it.
And the excitement is too much. Thomas has just left the room.
The parent when voting about his food. It's just for money.
Nikos. Greece, only one that has not voted.
A home of democracy.
Okay, so I've lost the camera. It's not a problem. So I close the vote. So on 33 voters, 39 voted in favor and 4 against.
I didn't get the pop-up.
Yes, everybody voted.
Till now. Oh, the previews.
No, on this one,
this one.
BL1, yes.
No, you're okay. It's some minutes.
Okay, let's go to the next. So, motion bylaws 2. On category of individual members. So I launch the vote. Waiting for 2 more votes. Waiting for 1 more vote. Okay, I can close the vote. So for this motion, on 43 voters, 34 votes in favor and 9 against. So the motion is adopted.
Adopted. Am I allowed to show emotion? My friends, you're just looking at the next 50 years of ITA. Okay, it's fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Now I'll be quiet again. I can't influence anything.
So now we go to the next one, which is on the owner affiliate member. it should go through because you voted yes for the first one, which includes the owner affiliate member.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, we have to restart and make a new model.
We can abstain.
It's another yeah. No, I can't say.
We can abstain.
Ah, don't mention that word.
Well, waiting for 2 votes. One vote remaining. One has not voted, but I close the vote.
Close the vote.
So on 42 voters, 37 voted yes in favor and 5 against. So the motion is adopted. So we go to the next one, which is about the supporters.
And the votes. the voters see what they're voting on? When on their screens, are they seeing the actual motion? They see the text together.
They see the results.
Okay.
It's anonymous.
Yep.
Yes.
Which they just pick it up again with the consumers.
Okay, so
yeah.
One vote missing. Just a few seconds. Okay. So 42 voters, 42 in favor.
Okay.
And the last one concerning the modifications of bylaws concerning the price sponsor.
Any more?
Yeah, close the vote. So 42 voters, 39 in favor, 2 against, 1 abstention.
So it's a pass.
Yes. So we've gone all through the modification of statutes and bylaws. So the last motions concern the normal activity of the General Assembly.
Olivier, your speech has been interrupted.
Yeah, I know. Very
Maybe because we are going to debate about fees.
No. It's sorry. Just a
Ah,
second.
yes, exactly.
I agree.
Just a second.
You're back.
I don't know if that.
Sound and in terms of image.
No, just to explain, in your absence, there's been a slight heart attack happening here. We lost everything. That's like a lunar mission where we just lost we lost contact with the spaceship. So apologies, everybody. But I think we're back.
Yeah, it's just that we've at the same time the camera, the projections, everything. There are so many devices that are connected to my computer. So just a small change and we shut everything down to restart. Okay. Okay, so we go to the this is normal. This is so here for the modification of the fees, we are in a normal General Assembly, so the majority is 50%. So we have 43, it makes a majority of 22. So here, that's the modification of the fees as we usually do every 3 years, not more. So we don't change fees every year. Here, in fact, it's 4 years because due to COVID, we didn't change anything and we didn't want to start changing things just after COVID. Arnold has explained, you have received many things. We have talked during the General Assembly in Athens on the development of ITA. Gerard presented figures and so on. It's the reason why we are proposing adjustments of fees, which is a bit more than it is done usually. But if you take a period of a decade, the increase of the fee is not so much because it's probably less than 40% in 10 years. So what is being proposed, and to continue with the fact that we recognize the fact that some member nations are coming from country richer than the others, we have increased in percentage more the category for the membership fee for category 1, less for category 2, and nearly nothing taking into account for category 3. It has not moved for the last 10 years. So it is proposed 1,800 instead of 1,275 for category 1, 1,200 instead of 900 for category 2, 600 instead of 500 for category 3. As usual, the corporate affiliate member fee is the same as the category 2, so we kept the same thing. We just added here, which you do not have in the motions that have been sent to you earlier, the membership fee for owner affiliate member, which is 500 euro. It is what has been proposed in the table that you have received earlier. And then we come to the individual affiliate member, where you see that there are the different and what we have been voted, the 50% discount for individual members coming from member nation organization. So the normal fee for individual members that are not belonging to a member nation organization is 120 euros. Category 1 countries, 80 euros for category 2 countries, and 40 euros for category 3 countries. Then individuals coming from member nation organization get 50% discount on this, and young members get 50% discount on this. So if they are not member of the national organization, it will be 60, 40, and 20. And if they are member of a member nation organization, it will be 30, 20, 10. And as usual, we'll also mention the change of category. As you know, the category, and it has been decided more than 25 years ago that we will make the fees by categories being, and you have it in the full motion that has been sent, on the percentage of the contribution of your country to the general budget of the United Nations. I know it's a bit tricky, complicated, but I try to make it as simple as possible.
And I have nothing to further to say on this. I think we've discussed this previously.
So, do you have any comments, remarks?
Yeah, I have a comment and a remark. I'm surprised to see the category 1 number so low. I would expect that to be a little bit higher, and I think probably the only owner affiliate members figure is also a little bit on the low side. You know, surely those numbers should be a little bit higher.
Yeah, Daniel, is that you speaking? I'm just trying to recognise your voice.
Yes, it is. Sorry, yeah, I'm in a car driving towards the nuclear power station, so I'm not doing the driving. You'll be happy to know someone else is, but I'm in and out.
Yeah, look, it's a welcome voice to say we should increase it, Daniel. And it's not a common voice. One of the difficulties we've got on EXCO is even using the United Nations Index, which is adopted by the UN annually, and trying to be as fair as we can, we still end up with anomalies. And so what we would be asking member nations, given you intimately understand what ITA is up to, if you want to pay more, we've got a mechanism for that. And it's in the statutes. We are very mindful that some category 1 nations using the UN categorisation are not actually that prosperous in terms of their member nation organisation and the funds available to them. But we absolutely welcome, and there's a mechanism for additional contributions to us, and or donations to us, and you can even tell us what you want it used for. So absolutely, Daniel, we understand that, but we had to, we're just mindful that there's still some tension for some of our category 1 member nations. In fact, the budget of some of our member nation organisations, I think, is even bigger than ITA's budget. So it's a very interesting thing. We've got the global mission, but a smaller budget than many of our member nation organisations. So, yeah.
No, thanks for the explanation. Completely understood. Thanks very much.
It sort of dovetails into this outreach idea too. We don't want to be discouraging people to become a member nation just because of the particular circumstances that they're in. Okay.
No, that makes sense, and that mechanism for additional funding, you know, that's I didn't know that, so that's handy to know as well. Thank you.
Oh, well, okay, I'll say it again. It's pretty important for us. There is a mechanism for donations, and it's one of the things that we're considering how to make this more known and how to encourage people to assist us, particularly with our training. Well, especially with the training.
Also for mentoring and helping
and mentoring. Yeah, one of the other things we're not discussing, we want is to offer to mentor other member nations, and what we're looking for are contributions, donations to ITA, so that we can then use them to assist member nations that are in need. So these are the sort of two parts to what we're looking at. That's probably next General Assembly. It's certainly on our agenda. If there's no questions, I think go to the vote. Well, not the vote. We've got more.
No, we can vote directly.
We can vote directly. Okay.
So Ready for the vote?
Ready to
Here that is, the new rates would be effective. If that's clear to everybody. It's written.
Yeah, so for the member nations, the fee is for next year because everybody get it at the same time. For corporate members and affiliate members, it will start on Monday. If it's voted.
If it's voted, yeah. So voting's open now.
Yeah.
Harry's got his hand up. Or he did, sorry.
Harry, you wanted to say
Are we voting? Yeah, well, are we voting on the member nations fees or are we voting on the whole lot?
That's the whole motion.
Yeah.
That's the whole motion.
Yeah, all together as a package.
Yeah, well, I will vote for it, but I can just say that your rates for individual memberships are too high. But that's your call. You won't get too many takers at more than the annual membership of the member nations.
Yeah, but the individual membership that we have now is higher than this one. It's 155 at the moment.
Exactly, and we lowered it to 120, 80, 40, or 60, 40, 20 for member nation.
I mean, given the vote's open, should we not talk about it? Or yeah, I'm happy to talk to you later, Harry, about it, but maybe not while voting's happening. That other than that, there was a lot of thinking that went on in balancing all of this. What's the 15-1? Just missing one. Yes.
So the vote, everybody voted. So 44 voters, so probably someone came in there. So in favor, so if it's 44, it's 20, the majority is 23.
Yeah.
So in favor 29, against 15. So the motion passed.
Okay. So motion passed. So if I may, we've actually passed all the motions. That's the completion of that business. If I could just have a few words. My friends, your elected EXCO who are sitting around here have worked really, really hard to bring all of those proposals to you. And personally, I would just like to thank them for the work that we've done. Because as you know, we didn't just go out with a set of proposals. We've been engaged, liaising, adjusting, and what have you. What you've just collectively voted on now allows ITA to move around the world more freely into areas which don't have member nation organisations. And we see this as incredibly strategically important. The fact that we've also agreed amongst ourselves, again, through the voting and through EXCO, that everything we do is going to be available for free is consistent with, that's our information available for free, just shows you how serious we are about spreading the message of the underground and its use around the world. And I just, on behalf of EXCO, just thank you for your confidence in us for making this really important strategic decisions today. So thank you, thank you. It's a big thank you. And if I could just, I'm just going to give a round of thank you to my, Gerard, yeah?
We also thank you for all the member nation. You have decided to secure the future of our association, clearly. Thank you very much to all.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll also, I don't know if you've noticed, we've managed to do this in record time. So it might have felt slow, but if we were measuring it by the normal speed of ITA, we've actually managed to do it really, really quickly and efficiently. So I thank you for that.
And just because I got the question from Chile, of course, as it is a General Assembly, you will receive the minutes with the results of the votes.
Yes.
And here it will be very quick because the system is also making the minutes by itself.
Okay. And if I could perhaps address Harry's point now that the voting's finished. Harry, what we're trying to do is to secure more resources within ITA, like by donations and things like that. So say we've got individual members who want to join in a country that doesn't have a member nation organisation, but it's a geologist or a geotech or whoever, and it's the beginning, then we want to, as an organisation, be in a position to be able to even assist them with just to assist. We don't have the resources at the moment, but we also didn't want to be competing with our member nations with a low fee to join as an individual as well. So there's a lot of thinking going on in the background about making sure our member nations have the voting rights, making sure the member nations have control of the working groups, making sure our member nations get the benefits of the increased exposure through sponsorship. It's quite a portfolio of things we've tried to put together. And so that's what's behind it. But yes, of course, it is a high fee, Harry. So, but we know that. Otherwise, just a big thank you from here in Toronto in Canada, and thank you for your votes. Actually, it's a vote of confidence in your ExCo who are assembled around here. And thank you, and good morning from Toronto in Canada.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Michel, see you next week.
See you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done for your.
Bye-bye, goodbye.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye to all of you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It was a very good meeting. It was a very good meeting.
Thank you.
Bye.